Hi there, this is Anais Smith. Welcome to my channel on family law and mediation and related topics. Today, I want to talk about situations where you want to get a divorce, but either your spouse is missing or they are living overseas. So, firstly, if your spouse is missing, then you have to take some forms of measurements to try and locate the whereabouts of the spouse. So, if you can't locate the person, then you can always go to the last known address where they've lived or their previous employer and just ask somebody of authority there to do an affidavit just to say that the person is not there anymore. So, when you bring an application of substituted service, you will have to persuade the court that you've done everything in your power to locate the whereabouts of this person and that they cannot be located. So, what is substituted service? So, substituted service is you have to apply for that in cases where personal service is a requirement. So, basically, you will ask the court's permission to do a different way of service. Um, so that can be by email or fax or additional other way means to do it. So, interesting case that was decided in 2012 was the one of CMC Woodworking Machinery Pty Limited versus Peter Odendaal Kitchens. So this application was brought after Rule 4 came into place, which allowed parties to do electronic service. So what the court did in this case is they've actually extended the electronic service and allowed the parties to use social media by way of using Messenger on Facebook. In order for the parties to have been able to do this, they had to prove to the court that this account was still active and this person will definitely receive notification of this procedure once they've opened the Messenger application. So, when you bring an application of substituted service, you have to inform the court of the nature and extent of the claim, the grounds for jurisdiction to entertain the claim. You have to be very elaborate on the kind of service that you want the court to authorize. And obviously, you need to stick to that authorization. You can't go and ask the court to do service by email and then you go and do service by WhatsApp um, or fax. So you need to be specific in your relief that you seek. Then you also need to inform the court as to the last whereabouts of the person, and you need to make sure that you've done as much as possible. So you also need to inform the court what measurements you've taken to establish the whereabouts of that person, so that the court have all the relevant information to make an informed decision as to whether to grant you leave to do substituted service. Then we have a situation of your spouse being in overseas. So what you will do then is you will do an edictal citation application. So in this cases, you will attach your summons, so the court will have a look at that. And then once that application has been granted, then you need to get the details of an attorney living in the area where the other person is living, your spouse, for example. So then you will negotiate a fee with that attorney and your own attorney, um, because obviously there's cost implications for them to do service on that side. So once you've done your edictal citation application in South Africa, you will have to obtain an apostille certificate. So that is a certificate issued by either Department of International Relations or the High Court, confirming that the person who's your attorney who signed the documents is authorized to do so and that the signature is authentic. In situations where the country that you need to send the documents to are not a party to the apostille convention, like China and the United Arab Emirates, those documents have to be authenticated by the Department of International Affairs, and then they will send those relevant documents to the embassy. And once the embassy have legalized the documents, then you will be able to send it to your correspondence attorney in the other country. So once um, that attorney has received the documents, they will effect service on your behalf, and they will also do an affidavit to confirm to the court in South Africa how service was affected. If they have other procedures in place and other people similar to the sheriff that we have here, that person will also do an affidavit. So once service has been affected, all the documents come back to you here in South Africa, and then you can apply for a date to have your divorce granted. So once the service has affected, the time period is a bit longer, so usually 10 days, but obviously with service having been affected overseas or in situations where the spouse is missing, you will it will be a longer period. It will be a month. I hope this was helpful, and if you like it, you are welcome to share it and subscribe. Until next time.